So after graduating from Kailua, right?
hmm
What did you end up doing?
So, you know, during high school, I was kind of like getting involved with drugs and alcohol was like from a young age. So at like 10 years old, I was already my grandfather was an alcoholic, so like we always had parties, right? And they had primo beer. So me as a youngster, I would be like sneaking with my cousins
At 10 years
drinking.
old?
Yeah, or I was drinking younger, but back then I don't know if your parents or like my grandfather was always like giving the little kids, yeah, drink this.
Yeah, try sample. Yeah.
And
Wow.
and that's kind of what I grew up seeing, right? But the thing what I seen was grandma was always cooking food on the table. Would always have food on the table. Poi, the poi where everybody eat, and then cooking food from the catch that my grandfather would catch because he was a fisherman and hunter. So a lot of times we ate food from what he caught growing up over there, and so yeah, it's pretty crazy. The upbringing, humble upbringing that I had. So
But people with that kind of upbringing, I trust more than people with easy
yeah,
lives.
yeah,
I feel like it really builds your character and it gives you a purpose in life to want to be better. And you know what it's like at the bottom, so you don't want to go
yeah.
back there. So you're super motivated to create a better life, not only for yourself but for others.
Yeah, and I think you respect life even more, or
Mm-hmm.
you can go anywhere and know that you can survive, and thrive, even without this social media thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was never heard back then, right? Never
Yeah.
even have cell phones.
Yeah. Yeah.
We didn't even have telephone. I think I was like maybe 9 or 10 is when we started getting the telephone on our street,
Mm-hmm.
and it was party line. So I don't know if you ever heard of party line, where the whole street is connected to one line and it's not private.
So everybody can
So
just
every
listen
time we
in.
pick up the phone, we could hear our neighbors talking. That's how old I am now.
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
So yeah, the party line. I know people that's around my age or older, the baby boomers know about party line.
I remember growing up because I grew up in the era. I grew up in the era of home phones, and you could hear other people talking, but it was
Mhm.
on the home phone. So it was
Yes,
like that, but
yeah.
like for the whole
So
community.
that's what the party line was.
Oh,
Yeah. So,
okay.
so that whole street, we pick up the phone. Sometimes you hear your neighbor talking. They'd be like, "Oh, press mute and listen, listen to what they
That's how
say."
eavesdropping was
Yeah,
created. All the LA people in Hawaii.
yeah. So, but yeah, but my family, some of my family members were into smoking pakalolo, and then when I moved back to Oahu, I got into the in crowd, which the surfing crew, like everybody parties, right? And I just met a couple friends that got into the hard stuff, like doing cocaine and crack, and lacing the tubes, and that's kind of like, oh my god, this is killers, like having fun, and then it just the drugs kind of took over my life, and then I was doing good in the bodyboarding community, competing, winning, going to nationals, getting sponsored, and all that stuff. But then the drugs started, catching up on me. Right, I became an addict, and you know went even as far as stealing my mom's debit card and taking all her money out
Wow.
from her bank account. And that's how crazy this those that the addiction is, right? And she approached me that one day, like, so you took my card. I was like, no, lying, right? And then she told me the bank has videos, of someone taking money out of the ATM. And then, at that time, I was like, well, I had to fess up and like, mom, I'm so sorry. I felt um, that was kind of at my lowest point then. And I said, you know what, mom, I need help.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on this drug that I cannot kick. And what happened was I went, we got admitted me to Bobby Benson on the North Shore in Kahuku. So I went through a drug treatment program, and that was like my first one, right? Going to drug treatment program, and yeah, kind of stopped doing all of that stuff. I stopped smoking cigarettes. I stopped smoking pakalolo, stopped drinking, and then, went back to school, like because I was in high school, and then I kind of got my act together, and then yeah, I graduated high school from Kailo High School, and then life was good. I got a scholarship for KCC, Pilani Community College, to go to the culinary arts program, and because the counselor told me, yeah, you like cooking, and I did back then, and I guess they said that's the field you can
Mhm.
go into, right?
Yeah.
Because
And KCC has a good culinary
right,
art program.
they do, and the reason why I was going into that field is because I was working as a line cook, for Yum Yum Tree. I don't know if you guys remember Yum Yum Tree. It's an older restaurant that was like in Kailua, and I was a line cook. And during like high school, I had side jobs, and long story short, shoot, I started hanging out with the wrong crowd
Mhm.
again, and I was looking for somewhere to go or someone to look up to, and my cousin he's a police officer. He told me, "Bro, you should just join the military." So to get away from all the drugs and stuff, the recruiter came and signed me up. I went to in 97, 96, 97 is when I signed up with the
Oh,
Army Reserves.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, crazy,
I didn't
right?
find that online.
So I joined. I did the reserves, right? Army Reserves. Signed up. The only job that I could, or the testing, right? Because I'm, not as akamai, right? I'm street akamai, but
Mhm.
books is not my thing. I ended up becoming a heavy equipment repair for the Army Reserves, and ended up like right down here, like Fort Shafter, when I came back. So, but man, like the military again, authority, like me, I didn't get along with
Mhm.
authority. Just, I was just wasn't my thing, and I was still searching. And yeah, I just got back involved with, the wrong crowd again. And, started going into like the crazier drug, which was crystal meth, and then, started using that, and just my life just started spiraling back down again. But during all this time, I was always, going to like the ocean is like my safe haven, or like my
Mhm.
Zen place. And, I ended up going down the wrong path again, and then meeting up with the wrong people. And because I'm good at networking and I know a lot of people, family members and stuff, I ended up, getting arrested through the feds, because of drugs. And I spent some time away, and I think that's the best thing that ever happened to me, Kamaka. Like,
Really?
changed my whole my life. It turned me into who I am today. And since I've been home, I came home in '07. My life has been the best ever.
Mhm.
It's been, you know, because I live a sober life, and I'm all about like now like spreading the aloha spirit that my grandparents shared with me by teaching others here in Hawaii,
Mhm.
financial education, or learning things that they can stay right here in Hawaii,
Yeah.
and be an inspiration, of course, because coming from coming out from the whole right, we call them the puka, right, prison, and coming from there with no money in your pocket, starting from scratch, uh, is daunting. There's a lot of fear, what you can do. Like the first thing a lot of guys come out, they go right back into that field, and 65, 70% of guys that come out, they go right back in.
Mhm.
So I'm proud to say I'm a, you know, a success story coming, you know, from where I grew up and where I'm at today
Wow.
to inspire others that went down the same or going down the same path that I did, or you
Mhm.
know, in that path right now that
Yeah.
they can change. Um, so I'm that inspiration guy, right?
Yeah. Wow. And that recidivism rate, is that, like, going back and doing the same exact crime or just going back to prison in general?
Yeah, I mean, like once you go down like that, you know, the money is good,
Mhm.
right? And like you don't gotta work, right? You just get this stuff, you sell them for this much, you make money, or you know you can get
It's like what
hot,
you
yeah.
could make in, like, a month of work
Or
here or
in a
something.
day's time, you make thousands of dollars. You
Yeah.
know, a week's time, you make like you make good money as someone that's selling selling drugs. And when I got locked up, I realized what I was doing. You know, and that I'm realizing all these family members that you see all messed up, stealing people's stuff, hurting people. And I was like, wow, I was part of that. Like I was the one like supplying,
Mhm.
and I realized that what I was doing was wrong. You know,
Mhm.
I used to say, shoot, if it's not from me, gonna be from somebody else. They gonna buy them from, right?
So you're like,
You
might as well
know,
be me. Yeah.
so and that was my mindset, my mentality, and just I chose to I was the one who chose that lifestyle. The circumstances of where I grew up, I cannot blame my grandparents or my uncles, my the friends that I had, because they never make me do what I did, right? I chose that. So the mindset change when I was inside was just crazy, because I had a lot of time to think of where I was gonna go when I came home, because the connections in there is even better than when you're out here.
Mm.
Because when you're in there, there's like people from the cartel from Mexico and Colombia and all where these drug sources come from, and that's one battle I had to deal with when I came home. Right, and then when I came home, the one another battle was trying to get a job when they know you coming out of prison is
Mhm.
tough to get a job. So my first job I wanted to do was go, because I could sell stuff, right? I was thinking, hey, you know what, car salesman, right? They make good
That's
money.
smart.
So I excuse me.
Mhm.
So as a car salesman, you can make 100, 200 grand just depending on,
Mhm.
you know, where you sell, who you sell cars to. I mean, so when I came home, my first job I was trying to go to. I went to Surfco and cut like I went to Kaneohe because they had Toyota and then
Mhm.
Nissan. I hit all those big companies, and yeah, gong, gong. Nope. Like, dude, that would be the best salesman. Like, I could sell this shirt right here to you. Like, wow, you have a record. So, it was a humbling experience to come home and go, like, again, like, I've never, like, I did apply before when I was a teenager going through school to apply for all the jobs that I worked
Mhm.
at. But to redo that again, start from scratch was
As an adult, right?
right.
Yeah.
And getting denied, right, to work. And yeah, I was, getting depressed again, and my mind started thinking, man, hmm, like, should I or shouldn't I go back? Because I know how easy the money is. But I was blessed to have some guys that was locked up with had a window cleaning company, and that's where they hired me at like $9 an hour. So coming out, I had $0. I was at the halfway house, and then my parents was, when I got out of the halfway house, I went to live with my parents for the meantime, and then I started window cleaning at $9, worked my way up to a manager. Then I worked for Uncle Tony and Auntie Tammy at Feet Surf School
Oh, no way.
as a surfing instructor. They took me in. Yeah, they knew my father, my dad, and then so like the surf industry, right? And was a blessing to work with them. Met a lot of people, and then I also was a valet driver. So I had
Wow.
3 jobs, I was building my credit back. I was able to move out, or rent an apartment with someone else, and I was stacking money to purchase my own home. And so this is around, I came home to 2007, and around, like, I'd say I started looking around 2009, 10, 11 is when I was kind of started
Mhm.
looking for a home or apartment or condo. And yeah, I couldn't qualify. I couldn't qualify. It's like, oh my God. Like, do I gotta work another job?
Mhm.
Like, and the crazy thing is this radio station just hook, line, and sinker that came across when I was driving one day, I think, to work. And it's like the thing went like this, like, hey, we're a real estate we're from HGTV, we're Than Merle and JD, and we're a real estate fix and flip company, flip this house show, and we're coming to Hawaii, and we're looking to have a few people to join our team. Hook, line, sinker. I was like, dude, I'm going to the event, right? So I called the number. They said, okay, it's gonna be at this date, and I went to the event. I knew they was gonna sell something, because it's too good to be true, right?
Mhm.
Like, but I knew what when I went there they were gonna sell something, and what happened was, what the guy talked about. I knew that I had the right connections because I was always around the construction crew growing up. That I was gonna be part of the
Mm.
team, and yeah, I ended up signing up for because after that event, there was like at the end of that event, it was like a 3-day event where you had to pay like 500 or 600 bucks, and then I paid for that. But am I talking too much?
Oh, no, I'm, like, totally hooked. I'm sure the people listening are enjoying it as much as I am.